for the time being, and then push a pawn at the last minute.
Well, I'm expecting black to play rook c3 in the next move. King f8, I understand, wants to bring his king. Rook c3, rook a3, I like in the long term.
Advancing though, g4 instantly met by g5 from Anish Giri. He's really sensitive to these little pawn pushes, these little structural decision making. I think he's a genius there, and I like it from black. He's locking down any advances from white there on the king side.
But at the same time, you know, it is a committal move. The knight can actually step back to d3 and say, well, you can't actually really capture on f4, because then you'll have to evaluate what's going to happen with white's h-pawn.
Yeah.
g5 I like very much. I think it's a very sharp move.
Yeah.
But maybe king g3 to react with that, activate the king and not give up the tension from f4, not to exchange.
Yeah, but black's rook is coming in, as you mentioned earlier, Judah.
Yeah, rook c3, and then you go knight d3.
Okay, he's found a creative way to kind of maintain the tension here. Rook b4, aiming to recapture on f4. And I think we're all in agreement. Black does not want to take that pawn. You don't want to isolate your own pawn on h6, so black jumps in, as predicted.
Rook c3.
Whoa, and take a look at those clocks. You can see that Anish has actually managed to whittle down that time disadvantage, and now it's level. Now Nodirbek has actually gone under. Wow, this is big. I mean, how are you going to flag someone when you have less time than them?
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. But then again, we were almost writing off Wesley earlier with less time, difficult position, and he pulled it out the bag. He worked his magic to win against Hikaru Nakamura. And also Anish Giri, a bit like Fabiano, who was with us a bit earlier, he's improved enormously in terms of his speed, in terms of his blitz and rapid results recently. So Abdusattorov, of course, great speed player, but Anish, it's his type of position, solid, strategic. No weaknesses, and white's knight forced to retreat back where it came from.
But now I think knight c4 can be very powerful.
Yeah. Do you start with knight c4? You could also maybe flick this one first, force the white rook back, and then jump in with the black knight. It looks
Also, temptation is great there.
Yeah. Looks like a lot of choice for Anish Giri. Maybe you don't want that in Armageddon. Maybe that's the one pitfall to avoid. You need easy, obvious moves instead of 3 or 4 clearly good ones.
And Anish actually attacking the a-pawn, forcing the rook to, or the knight, to step back. Oh, it's a good move by Anish. Very simple chess. It's what you need.
Very impressive move. He's played an impressive game, impressive match so far, if we take the classical game into account as well. And that white knight was so nice and pretty on the e5 square, now it's sitting on c1. And Anish... not approved by the computer, this last move, Jovanka.
No, I mean, I was surprised by this because I felt black's light square bishop was such a great defensive piece.
But I think it's still okay. It's only he had a better move as well.
Okay.
Because now if the exchange of bishops takes rook d5, rook b5, then knight e4 check.
Some nasty knight forks.
Bishop f3.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Anish Giri,
But it's
how is he
okay.
not winning this position? He's just found an amazing move. King takes rook is met by a knight check, a knight fork, and the white rook will drop. Black will be winning a piece. Computer says, finally, it is winning for black. Beautiful tactic, and Abdusattorov resigns.
Oh, great game by Anish, I have to say. In both games, in both the classical and the Armageddon, it just looked like he was in full control.
Absolutely.
Showing his experience, showing his class. And Abdusattorov walking away with just 1 point, and Anish